listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello. Welcome to another live edition of the Narrative Podcast. I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. The Narrative Podcast is the home of positivity, reciprocity, and original people and original culture. So I hope everybody had a great day. Today's Thursday. Yesterday's Wednesday. We got over the hump. So the weekend's right around the corner. Pray everybody's excited about it. The weekend, trying to get hope out of my vocabulary. See Dick Gregory on Hope, and you understand why. But so we're here for another episode of the Narrative Podcast. Like I said, this is a live edition. All my narrators know the demonstration. They know what my podcast is about and my content, what I'm trying to accomplish in this space. But I know all the new people don't, just newly tuning in and newly want to see what's going on. So just allow me to give you a quick run through of my content for the new people tuning in this evening. So let's start at the top. Let's start with the name, the Narrative Podcast. Basically, I named it that because I believe the media weaves a false narrative about original people and original culture. So basically, they depict this in a negative light. They're always playing up all the negative nuances and stereotypes within our culture and about our people. They do it intentionally. They do it to sell news. They also do it as a form of mind manipulation for powers that be, want to manipulate the minds of the masses, and also, psychological warfare against us by warping our minds and having us perceive ourselves a certain way. Basically, desensitize us. They want to have us believe, not normal things are normal, within our culture by playing up and glorifying these stereotypes, like, seeing somebody's brain splattered is just like something normal, That's how we're being programmed and conditioned to, see things, just normalize things that aren't normal. It's not normal to be over, 50 years old or older and having to check in with your PO. It's not normal. It's not normal to be over the age, or over the age 25 or older, meeting to connect in a dark alley, in a sketchy alley at sketchy times of the day, like 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. That's not normal. That's not life. It's not living. But they program and condition us into believing it is. They also program and condition us to see our brothers and our sisters a certain way, and to act and treat each other a certain way based on these images that they show us and embed within us, about us. So what I want to do is create a platform, where I'm praising the culture, I'm building this up, I'm edifying us, I'm showing us at our best. I'm destroying these negative stereotypes about us by providing positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. Hence the title, The Narrative Podcast, flipping the narrative on my platform. Um, Also, on my platform, I refer to our people as original. Um, at the beginning of the civilization, the word black, really meant something positive within our culture. We had all kind of dialects, written and verbal dialects of speech, where black meant something positive, but the powers that be, wicked powers that be, in the English language, they've corrupted the word, not just English, but Latin and Greek as well, to have it mean something negative and foul, and again, trying to warp our perception of ourselves, and people outside of our culture's perception of us. And how do I mean that? I mean, like if you go into any dictionary or thesaurus and look up the word black, you will see all kinds of negative connotations surrounding it. Um, Also, that's intentionally done because the power of words. Like once you release something out of your mouth, it becomes reality. So, in the English language and, some of the Greek and some of the Latin, the word black means something bad. They've turned it into something that means something bad, and it registers in our subconscious that it means something bad. Um, they have all kinds of nouns, pronouns, parts of speech, um, using the word black in a negative way. Like, for example, like black, you open up the dictionary, you see black, dirty, desolate, depressed. Uh, Black also symbolizes disease and, death. But before they come to all those negative things in the dictionary, they all go out of their way to denote, origin. And that's the only color in the dictionary that it denotes origin, because they usually say, people descending or originating from Africa. And then they'll have, all these negative examples using the word black in a sentence. It was a black night. My heart just went black, and just symbolizing death and chaos and turmoil. Um, so, that's why I don't really try to, refer to myself as black. And on my platform, I believe a more accurate interpretation of our people is original. Because if you go to the same dictionary, look up the word original, you will see no negative connotation, nothing negative about original, no negative nouns, verbs, adjectives, pronouns, etc., no negative example sentences. Now, the word original often, symbolizes the beginning, and in many cases, the best. Nothing trumps the original. Nothing's better than the original. Nothing's better than the original document, the original copy. Everything pales in comparison to the original. And now, how do you equate, original to our people? We were and are the original man and the original woman of this planet. Not only that, we originated pretty much everything in the modern world that we have today. We originated mathematics, we originated science, we originated alchemy, we originated philosophy, we originated, written and verbal speech. We originated tools. We originated, you know, learning institutions. We originated like the first learning institutions. Um, we originated so many things that's commonly used and we can't do without in the world. So, you know, I think that's a more accurate um, interpretation or depiction of us, the word original. I didn't mean to get too long-winded, breaking down what my podcast is about. I just wanted it to register. Because another thing on my podcast, what I try to do is keep it brief and to the point. I never want to, exceed an hour. I want to keep my content really concise and to the point. During my normal broadcast today, I break it up into sections, and each section has a speaking point. But this is a live broadcast, and on my live broadcast, also, I never want to really exceed the hour. Ideally, I want to just only have my podcast be 45 minutes on a live broadcast because I want to just, hit my points and, leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening and leave you to look something to, look forward to this weekend because I broadcast, for my full broadcast every single weekend. But during the weekday, it's just like randomly I go live whenever I have the free time. Get very busy during the weekday. That's why I just, kept the weekends locked for my full broadcast. And then I just recently started just doing, weekday lives. I think I just recently started doing weekday lives probably like last year. I was just exclusively just doing my podcast on the weekends. So, yeah. On my weekday lives, what I usually do, again, to keep in stride with the theme of my podcast, which is changing the narrative. Matter of fact, my tagline is the Narrator Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. That's also why I call my target audience my narrators, because you have the power to change the narrative. Because we're all content creators and we can all change the narrative by just simply controlling, what we post online. Because what you post online is like basically a visual representation of yourself, like your ideals, your beliefs, your value systems. People take that to heart these days. That's basically whatever you post online is your digital carbon footprint. This is how the whole rest of the world perceives you, like whatever you're posting online across whatever platform online. Also, ideally, the biggest takeaway I want my listeners to understand is how important it is to post positive content online. Because like I said, your content is key. So just imagine all these people outside of our culture, all they have is negative frames of reference about us. And then you're on your platform posting, gang culture, drug culture, weapon culture like guns, fight culture, pimp culture, whore culture, thought culture, twerk, all these like negative stereotypes about ourselves. But if you're posting positive content, that'll kind of level the playing field. It's not a definitive answer, but it is an answer to, our common problem of being misrepresented by the powers that be. So, like I said, this is a live edition of the Narrator Podcast, and on my live editions, what I do, how I flip the narrative, is I share positive frames of reference, basically articles about original people excellence, original people doing positive things. So I share those, and then I also do a commentary on a current event, something going on in the world, something relevant, something about us usually, or if it's like, global, I unpack it from our perspective. But tonight's commentary is going to be something fun. I'm going to give my synopsis of the movie You People, and it's a positive one. I've given some like kind of negative movie reviews, but like I keep it real on my platform. When they're misrepresenting us, or doing something foul or pushing some type of agenda in the movie, I gotta speak on it. But this one is actually a pretty good one. I don't really got too much negative, nothing negative really to say about it. I just want to talk about it. And I'll get to that after the content. So before diving into the content, I want to clear a few things. First, I want to ask all my listeners, anybody tuned in right now, to download this episode and our previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast, and make sure it's hosted by me, Halsey Allen. There are tons of narrative podcasts out there. I don't know, where you go to get your podcast, but, it helps a lot. It's helping me grow the platform. I want to give you better content. I want to start booking guests. I want to, get some better equipment. So I'm coming in more crisp and clear sounding, and just, give you a more professional podcast experience. My numbers are growing. My stats are going up with each broadcast. I'm almost 200 episodes in, so I'm definitely going to be making that transition from audio to video very soon, in the very near future. But keep participating. Keep on supporting the platform. Just download this episode and our previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. That will help so much to, help grow the platform. This platform, it is a monetized podcast, so that's how, about the algorithm and all that. That's how the platform grows. So please download this episode, our previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right. So now that got that business out the way, I'll address some more things before diving into the content, and then I'm gonna dive into the content. First and foremost, it's Black History Month. This month, I kicked Black History Month off, last week, as many states do nowadays, to compensate for, the only 28 or 29 days on a leap year that is Black History Month. So, first of all, Black History Month originated on HBCU dormitory, started out as Negro History Week, and then slowly evolved into what we now know as Black History Month. I believe it was Gerald Ford. Let me see, punch it up right quick. Yeah, it was Gerald Ford. In 1976, he made it a national holiday. But it originally started out as Negro History Week. But anyway, so going back to what I was saying, I started my kickoff for Black History Month last week, as many other states have, nationally here in the U.S. and abroad to compensate for the 28 or 29 days. Some people celebrate it on February and just go all the way to the first week of March. And I think I might go to the first week of March, but I'm gonna commemorate Black History Month on the Narrator podcast with Black History Facts. So I got two. I try to do the lesser known Black History Facts, something you don't really hear every day. I got two today because I'm also going to do, I believe, something tragic within our culture, because that is history. Our suffering in all time periods, not just slavery, because we can go from like all the way back from when America was founded, on up into now, all the atrocities we've suffered and endured. So we definitely deserve a month to be recognized. A month really ain't even, really enough to, acknowledge all the things we bring to the table and all the things we've done for this country and the world in general. Because like I said, we are the original men and women of the planet. We originated like everything, and we was on all parts of the globe, not just via the transatlantic slave trade. We was originally located pretty much everywhere. We was here first. So, you can't just say we was all slaves. Our history did not begin with slavery. It began with civilization. But anyway, I got two Black History Facts today. And then I want to acknowledge something else before I move into the content. I know, like, well, dang, you keep on putting up all this stuff before the content. I don't have like a whole lot of articles to share, so I can do that this week. But I will get to the content, rest assured. But first, the Black History Facts. Get my notes together. So my first Black History Fact: did you know the very first computer was invented by a black man, or as it was called then, the microprocessor? And it was invented by one Mr. Wayne D. Pickett, and it was the 4004 IBM microprocessor. He was inspired to create it after reading the book I, Robot. Yes, it was a book before it was a movie, like many movies. It was a book before it was a movie, but yeah, that's where he got his inspiration to create the microprocessor. So I think I forget which. He worked for another company before IBM, but yeah, it started all the way. He started working on it in the '60s, and then finally they got the patent and everything in the early '70s. But you can do your own research on the brother. Wouldn't have these marvelous computers, no Googling, nothing, had it not been for Wayne D. Pickett with the microprocessor. And so my second black tragedy fact, I mean, it's history, but it's kind of tragic and it's really like revolting, but it's just like, we can't ever let them forget it because they will try to just, go past, like just act like it never happened, if we never, keep, not keep the conversation going about how we were treated in this country and how we're still being treated in this country and abroad, really, like in everywhere in the world we reside. But I'm an original man in America, so I'm going to be sharing how we was treated here in America. So did you know the original bed warmer wasn't an actual like cover or some type of device? It was actual human beings that would warm people with using their body heat. This is what they did to us in slave times. They would have typically a small child, a slave child, sit at the foot of the bed and they would place their feet on the child's back and use the residual body heat from the child to warm their bed, to warm their feet, or wherever they were cold at. Yeah, that's what they used to do. That was the original bed warmer. Now on to the next order of business. I want to send a love, light, healing energy to the Smiley family with belated condolences to Ricky Smiley and his loss. He lost his son most recently. So we're going to give a moment of silence for brother Ricky Smiley and his son and his family, extended family, friends, associates, colleagues, everybody that's close to, Ricky and his son. And then also, the Nichols family. We're going to, give them a moment of silence as well for everything they're going through right now. It's so tragic. And then, spoiler alert, that will be my speaking points for this weekend. I'm not going to address it this week because it has onion layers and, things are still, surfacing about, the whole situation. And if you've been listening to me, then I don't just go half-cocked. I let things play out before, I offer my commentary on the situation. I let it play out as fully as possible before I, speak on something. All right, so condolences to the Nichols family and condolences to, the Smiley family. And now diving into the content. All right, so my first article headline reads, woman purchased 14 abandoned acres to build $25 million tech hub in Jackson, Mississippi. And the sister's name is Dr. Nashil Cephas. I believe I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Nashilesepphus. So she, by trade, is an engineer. She was in charge of Amazon, um, their applied AI science department. She was the manager of that. Um, she also was a chief tech officer for PartPick, which was a startup company that was later on acquired by Amazon. So she's doing a whole lot of things in the tech field. And sidebar, if you're not up on AI, if you're not up on robotics, like we don't have no excuse. We gotta keep up or get left behind. It's up to yourself to educate yourself about technology. You can't be living in the dark ages unless you plan on going off the grid and just living off, nature, growing your own food and all that, which is definitely nothing wrong with it. But if you're going to live here in the modern world, you need to know about, technology. You need to know about coding. You need to know about all the new software packages, at least like perform one function in it. If nothing else, you need to be proficient with emails, using the Microsoft Office software, like basic stuff like Word, PowerPoint, Excel. That's the super basics. You at least need to know how to do that to survive in this world. All right. So next article, headline reads, Yellow Banana, a black-owned grocery chain, um, currently with 38 stores, has secured 13.5 million to expand. Yellow Banana operates under the Save a Lot title. They received about 13.5 million to buy and revitalize 6 locations. So you know what that means for us. If it's original people own and operate it, of course they're going to hire us. Of course they're going to train us. Of course they're going to give us the opportunity to, franchise our own, Save a Lot brand grocery store. So yeah, that's like generational wealth. That's community, servicing the community with products that we buy, brands that we recognize, brands created by us. Yeah. So definitely support them. Yellow Banana Narrative Podcast. Round of applause for the Yellow Banana brand. Next, husband and wife open new black-owned beauty and wellness store in Hollywood, Florida. Um, so hubby and wife, Stacy and Martin Clark, and it's called Asili Beauty and Wellness. That's the name of their supply chain, and they offer like holistic remedies and all that spa treatment stuff, as well as haircuts and you know for ladies to do braid styles and all that, perms and all that, and get your feet and nails did, as well as like spa treatments. So yeah, definitely go support that. Hollywood, Florida. Asili Beauty and Wellness in Hollywood, Florida. The next article headline reads Father and Son due to create first black owned baby food and vegetable brand. Well, they've already created the vegetable line. I don't know if you're familiar with Good Brand. It's spelled Goode brand. So even though the article said father and son, it's only releasing the name of wife, obviously, Emily Johnson. Let me go to their homepage and see who else. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm at the website. I'm trying to see if they got the names. They just got the products. Non-GMO, no sugar added, BPA free, recyclable, USA grown, WIC approved. It doesn't like got the little about section or anything. It's a shame. But I guess you would have to do your own Googles to, find out, who are the male proprietors of that brand. But yeah, so they're extending the line by adding baby food to it. And Emily Johnson is in charge of that aspect, the baby food. So give it up for the Good Brand. I think that was my last one. Let me check. Yeah, that was my last article. So I just had a few ones. So like I said, I just randomly go live. When I see things pop up in my feed, I jot notes. I might screenshot it and just jot a couple key points to share back with you guys on a random day that I'm free during the week. I try not to go live on Fridays because my full broadcast days are usually on over the weekend on Saturdays, so I don't want to ever overlap. So like, I probably go live randomly Monday through Thursday. I don't know what days, but like I said, I like to try to let the articles accumulate. So I only had a couple, just like those few that stood out in my mind out of all the stuff that was popping up in my feed. All right, so that's the end of the articles. Now I'm going to give you a walkthrough of what you will have in store when you tune in this weekend for another edition of a full episode of the Narrator podcast. So, like I said, I break my content down into sections. Each section has a speaking point. So my very first section of the podcast is my promo section. In this section, what I'm doing is I'm giving business owners the opportunity to get free promotion for their goods, product, or service simply by hitting me up at my email address. And I use I'm not going to say it here on the live. You can just tune into my, my previous episode, the last episode that I did. Yeah, and the purpose of me doing the promo is basically to give you do my part to help circulate the original dollar and the original people community. So letting people be aware of, brands and trying to help you grow your business, anything, any little push. And I don't charge at all. It's 100% free, the promotion. So all you gotta do is hit me up and I will promote your brand for free on my podcast. That's right. So on my next section, is my contest section. In the contest section, what I'm doing in that section is giving you the opportunity to win a contest or win a prize in the contest that I'm holding. And you win the prize simply by just participating in the contest topic. And the contest topic is share your most recent shopping while black experience. And the reason why I'm holding the contest is basically for incentive purposes. For the people that's been supporting me since day one, give you incentive to keep on supporting me, giving you a free prize. The entry is free. I don't want anything from you. I'm giving you something, and then also to incentivize new listeners, like if you just newly started listening to me. So yeah, and then also the contest is the entry details is available on my previously recorded episode. So I got all the information, and go ahead and hit it up. Quick little disclaimer, my email address is currently up for renewal, but I should have it straightened out by this weekend. If it's not straightened out, let me know, because they got a comment section in my podcast, like when I share the link on the platforms. So if the email address isn't working, shoot me a little message in the comment section on the link, because you download it and you will see the Narrator podcast logo, and then it got like a little heart. Then it got the little, drop down cascading, arrow pointing down. That means download the episode. And then also next to that, you will see like the thing to share it back to other platforms, the little, the share button to your Facebook, to your whatever. But it's the downloads that count. So if you want to click the link, click the download. But like I said, if the email address isn't working by then, leave me a comment and let me know. It should be renewed by then. But anyway, next section, which is actually the first authentic section of the Narrator podcast, is the highlight section. And in the highlight section, what I'm doing is I'm highlighting businesses owned and operated by original people. The purpose of me doing that is to provide a positive frame of reference about original people excellence. People, just regular people, giving you the positive frame of reference of triumphing in the face of adversity, and that we can do it, that we can do for self, because, the negative stereotype that they keep circulating is we can't. And, they're always showing us disenfranchised and downtrodden and down on our luck and just down bad. But, in this section, what I try to do is highlight people, just regular people, They was working stuck in like the 9 to 5 thing, and they had a passion for something. They wanted to do something different with their life. Had a calling. They was passionate about something, and they just decided to open their own business. So they didn't. The types of businesses that I highlight, the owners, they didn't have, a lot of expertise in the field of whatever type of business they decided to open. They didn't necessarily have, financial means to get the business going, but they found a way to do it. They also found a way to, learn about the business and all that. So, and not only that, they give back to the community, do some type of outreach to the community. They either have their own nonprofit organization, pay into a nonprofit organization, or, service the community some type of way. So, and then lastly, they align up with my theme. Last month's theme was, winter / the new year. I think for this month, what I do, because it's already the second, so on my first full broadcast, it's a very short month. I think I do, Valentine's Day, like things you would need for Valentine's Day. These are the types of businesses that I'll be highlighting this week. And, personally, I don't really see the purpose of Valentine's Day. It's a pagan holiday. It's got pagan roots. It's, artificial love is something that was designed by the greeting card company, but it has ancient, like, pagan roots. So I always tell you about, be cognizant of what you're celebrating, but, that's my own personal opinion. I don't think you have to go all out to prove to whoever you're dealing with that you love them, getting a card and all that. And, letting ourselves be in programmed and conditioned on Valentine's Day. I'm special. Oh, I want to feel special. I want to have a Valentine's date. I don't know, that's just how they sound in my head, but I ain't trying to be narcissistic or negative, but like I said, I'm going to give you some. If you're going to celebrate Valentine's Day, you might as well buy from, vendors that are owned and operated by us. So that's why I will be, highlighting Valentine business, like, things you would need for Valentine's Day to gearing up. So that's what I'll be highlighting this month. But anyway, yeah, so the highlight section, I'm basically just giving you positive frames of reference about entrepreneurialism, doing for self, and community activism and community involvement, overcoming adversity, and doing for self. That's what I'm trying to give you in that section. I'm also trying to convey how important it is to support each other, to patronize businesses that support the community. So in a sense, when you support a business that supports you, you're supporting, your family, future generations, not just, getting some goods and services, but, future generations as well can benefit from supporting our own, keeping our money in our community. And then after the highlight section, I go on to the spotlight section. The spotlight section is basically, a section where I'm spotlighting a prominent figure, and it's usually in the entertainment industry, an actor, an actress, a recording artist, a comedian, an athlete, a public figure. I've also highlighted religious figures as well. But basically, somebody in the eye of the public is using their platform to, speak on the cause, unapologetically has donated, given stuff back, done some type of outreach for the community, or just the way they carry and conduct themselves to, be a good visual representation of us. Those are the people that I spotlight. I also spotlight to, put out an atmosphere of, just saying something nice about each other online as opposed to always saying something slanderous about each other, always dragging each other through the mud online. That's why I added the spotlight to, my podcast. And not for nothing, something I got to keep on interjecting every time I talk about the spotlight, I created the wave for spotlighting. Nobody on the internet, YouTube, wherever was spotlighting anybody until I added a spotlight section to my podcast, the Narrator Podcast. Give it up for me.
To the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
In a real way. So I created the way for spotlighting. I mean, you can fact check me. You can go in my episode logs and cross check and see who was spotlighting anybody before I was spotlighting on my podcast, and nobody was. I mean, there's some exceptions, like for instance the Drake chance, but that's more like, Hollywood type stuff, like untold stories, where they're giving a celebrity their roses. Their only exception is when they have people from the NOI on Drake chance, other than just like Hollywood celebrities. But like I said, I give the roses while they're here, and I already told you I want to create the healthy habit of us speaking positively about one another online as opposed to always denigrating each other and saying something negative about one another. Like, they really just got us brainwashed and conditioned to believe that's the only way you can make money online is to say something slanderous against another one of ours. Like, that's the only way you want to get the views and the clicks and all that, is to gossip and kick dirt on somebody's name. But anyway, so that's why I do the spotlight section, to encourage and create the healthy habit of just saying something nice about your brother or sister. And I start the way for that. Just saying. But anyway, after the spotlight section, I transition into the health and wellness section. And the reason why I added a health and wellness section to my podcast is basically because we, as a people, one second please. We as a people are just at the target of so much, sicknesses and illnesses or diseases. These mad scientists are literally just sitting up there cooking up crap in the laboratory that adversely affects our health. They're putting things in our air. They're putting things in our food. They're putting things in our water and products that we use daily, like soap deodorant. You know, did you know like baby powder these days got like neurotoxins in them? Baby powder. But like anyway, things that like specifically targeted towards melanated people, like they're literally just things that, you know, break down our unique cellular structure and make us sick. And if it's not that, it's the you know, this garbage content they're always putting on the airwaves to get you, you know, to overtax your mind. And that's where illnesses come from, you know, when your mind is at dis-ease, hence the word disease. You know, it manifests physically when you're, you know, stressing about something. And they always got us stressing about something. So, you know, that's the name of the game, psychological warfare. So they're going to get us one way or the other. So in this section, what I'm doing is just basically to my people to stay armored up. Anybody from any background is free to, you know, listen to my content. And if you can get something out of it, if I can enlighten you some type of way about our people, cool. But like all the content on here is really focused towards us, original people. So, you know, definitely all the health and wellness tips are really kind of geared specifically for us, our unique genetic makeup, our cellular composition, our melanin. So, you know, in this section, basically what I'm doing is giving, you know, total body wellness tips, like mentally, physically, and spiritually to keep you right. So typically what you'll hear in the my health and wellness section is like the health benefits of a fruit, vegetable, herb, any herb, root, elixir, anything that you can ingest or use topically, apply topically to enhance your health, increase your vitality. That's what you'll hear. Any type of physical exercises that you can perform to stay fit. Mental stuff like mindfulness, mindful breathing, meditation, prayer, spiritual stuff like prayer. Also metaphysical stuff sometimes. You know, and that's what I talk about in the health and wellness section, but the ultimate takeaway is just basically to stay armored up, you know, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because health is wealth. Then after the health and wellness tip, I transition into my speaking point of the day. And my speaking point of the day is a section where I'm addressing breaking news, anything, you know, currently trending, worldwide, globally, you know what I mean? Or, you know, something just happening in our community. And the purpose of me doing that is to control the narrative. Because the media will have us looking and sounding crazy. So in that section, what I'm doing is just, you know, unpacking current events from our perspective. You know, so that's how I'm controlling the narrative. And the rare event that I can't find any current issues to talk about, anything currently trending, I might hit you with a PSA. Just something I notice in our community, something that we do as a people, something we need to work on. And by we, I mean me as well, because I'm an original man. So anytime I say we, I mean myself as well. And then I close out with my final thought or final word of the day. I call it the final thought, but it's usually like a word and I attach some philosophy to it. Basically, it's like a gem, a pearl of wisdom, something insightful, something to inspire critical thinking and be like, wow, that's deep. You know what I mean? So that's it and that's all. That's the entire full narrative podcast experience. And I know you're going to tune in this weekend and, rock it out with me. I know you'll be anticipating, hearing me this weekend. You're going to tune in and you're going to download that episode when I share it, just like you're going to download this episode. When I share it back on all my spaces, you're going to tell a friend to download episode 180 of the Narrator podcast, as well as all previously recorded episodes of the Narrator podcast. Well, like I said, that's the Narrative podcast in its entirety, and I'm anticipating you to join me this weekend. But with no further ado, on to my review of You People. So like I said, nothing bad. Like first and foremost, I just want to just get out the part. I'm definitely, I wouldn't call myself like a movie buff, but I like me some movies. I would say aficionado. Well, I guess an aficionado is a movie buff, but I'm not like at Oscar and Cisco level, but I do enjoy good movies. I enjoy movies. Now, You People was a rom-com, and rom-coms are a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I'm not, into rom-coms that much. And for those that don't know what rom-com is, it's romance comedy, and that's kind of not my go-to genre of film that I enjoy watching. But it was good. It was really good. Good cast. Anything with Eddie Murphy is going to be good. I mean, he's had some iffy ones in his career, but at his age, pretty much he get anything like he gets in is going to be good, because he's at the level in his career where he's being selective of his roles. Like he's not going to just be in anything. Loved it. I loved actually seeing Eddie Murphy, play the character that he was playing. Had a good, diverse cast. I really think Eddie Murphy was channeling his brother Charlie, because I was getting Charlie vibes. Because he's just like, this is a different Eddie. I've never seen this Eddie in any of his movies. It's like he's like real gruff, real gritty. Ornery. Like in our community, the word is ornery, but how we say it in our community, original people, we say ornery. Like Eddie Murphy's character was ornery. He was ornery, bruh. I don't know. Maybe it's like as you're getting older, like when our people start getting older, we just start getting ornery. That I don't give a F attitude. Just say stuff out the blue and don't care if they hurt your feelings. And their defense is like, I'm old. What you gonna do? I'm 6'7". I'm 7'3". Goddamn it, shit. I try not to curse on my platform, but that's the vibes I was getting from his character. Like, Like every other line is like, and what? Yeah, I said it. So, like every other line, that's the like the vibes I was getting from his character. Like, yeah, and so, yeah, I said it. Like really, he was just really unapologetic, and I've never seen Eddie like portray a character that was just unapologetic. He wasn't. He was like just don't give a f. Like that's why I said he must have been channeling his missing Charlie or something. Like I was getting Charlie energy from his performance because he was just saying like just wild off the wall stuff in a good way. In a good way, like you just got to see. I don't want to give away spoiler alerts, or spoilers, but it was a really good movie. Laura London, you know, her illustrious return to the acting industry had to take some time back, step away from it for obvious reasons, but she killed it. Very believable. I believe her character. Um, like I might say, I'm trying to say something ignorant, but like I didn't know David Duchovny was like Jewish. He was in the movie. I didn't know he was Jewish. Like for real, I didn't. But basically, that's what the movie was about. Jonah Hill, he was like the lead, and uh, Laura London, you know, they hooked up. It was like that's the rom com part of it. That's the romance. They had a romance in the movie, and it was just like they was from different cultures. Jonah Hill's character, he was, you know, Jewish. His parents were Jewish, Caucasian, and then Laura London's character, her family was Muslim. I believe there was Orthodox. I don't believe there was NOI in the movie. I believe there was Orthodox. Um, but so that was that friction going on. You know, Orthodox Muslim, black Orthodox Muslim family, and like I believe Hasidic Jew. I believe they were Hasids. Um, so they had that on screen, and it was just like they was unpacking a whole lot of issues, you know, from those worlds colliding. And they did it in a smart, entertaining way. It wasn't really nothing cringy. It's like they was having the conversation, you know, on screen. Like, you know, this wall and that wall, and how do we get past this, and how do we get past this, and you know, we got to stop deflecting this if we ever want to get here to this space. You know, our people, like, you know, it was the ish people and the original people coming together. And then, you know, the producer from Blackish, he was in the movie. He made a cameo. Kenny, what is his name? Kenny Barris. So that was cool. Like some other people was Mike Epps, Anthony Anderson. Um, they had it was a really good ensemble cast. Like I said, I don't really got nothing negative to say about the movie. About that movie, I got something negative to say because you know I'm kind of the opposing view, but like I'm not bashing the movie. I'm gonna just say, like, just for our movies in general these days, like, can we have a movie where we're not just addressing every single issue we have in our community? Because it was like 30 different issues that they was addressing in that movie. Can we just have a film where we're just only addressing one? Like if we got an issue of police brutality, like have that in the movie, the police brutality issue, and then like that's it. That's the issue that they're in the movie. Why it gotta be like? Because it was already the interracial dating thing. It was the Jewish and the black thing, but then they're gonna throw in the LGBTQ. They're gonna throw in classism, like all this stuff. Like just pick a struggle is what I'm saying. Don't just throw just take the issue jar and dump all the issues in the film. Because I don't know about y'all, but when I go to a movie, I like to escape reality. I don't like to just be sitting up there watching real life. I don't want it to be so real. It's like real life. Like dang. Like I know that person. I know that person. That's not a movie. That's real life. Like who wants to watch real life on the screen? Like dang. Why do we have to address all the issues all the time? Like I wanted some lighthearted levity. But it was like I said, it was a rom-com. That's not really my genre movie. I like action. I like sci-fi. I like suspense. I like mystery. But for a rom-com, it was decent. I don't really see nothing too cringy about it. There wasn't no. Believe me, if I thought it was some cooning in there, I would have called it out. Wasn't no cooning. Wasn't no buffooning. They stayed, really. I think that when they made it, they put a real fine line in there, and they didn't cross the line. There wasn't no line crossing. There wasn't nothing that just would make you be like, oh hell no, they didn't. What you really trying to say? I didn't walk away from that after I watched that movie. It was just like good-hearted levity. They addressed some issues that need to be addressed within both of our respective communities. I think they was using the film to create the dialogue. So like every time any one of our entertainers does or says something, this little league that they got, won't cancel them. So they're setting up the dialogue for that. But very good movie. Everybody was on their game, brought their A game. My only real criticism is some real life criticism. And he already said why he didn't. But Jonah Hill, I feel like he should have promoted the movie because, as a Caucasian man in his age, I don't think he's like over 30 yet. He's still like in his early 30s. He's like, he got access to other platforms that the other actors don't. Like other people want to interview him and know about the movie and whatever. So he can get on shows that like Eddie Murphy can't get on. He can get on like platforms and stuff to promote the movie Eddie's a mega movie star, and there's like certain platforms he can't get on to promote the movie because it's so good it should get some type of award, some type of honorable mention. Like they really bought it. I really enjoyed it. I definitely will watch it again. It was funny. It was funny. It wasn't gut slapping funny, but it was definitely a needed laugh. Like, I mean, like anybody could watch it. I believe like a person like Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks could watch it, he'd be like, well, I don't really like movies about colored people, but that was a nice movie. I like that Nia Long. I don't really look at them colored gals, but that Nia Long, she's alright. She's alright. Yeah, Halsey do impressions. I got a whole lot in my repertoire. I mean, it was a good movie. It was a good movie for our people. I mean, like, wow. I'm clowning right now, but definitely go see You People if you haven't seen You People. It was an excellent experience. I enjoyed it. Um, Dynamic cast, dynamic crew. Um, I think they really like broke through a whole lot of barriers with that. Nice, lighthearted. Nothing too cringy in it, except David Duchovny singing the John Legend song. That was kind of cringy, but other than that, I didn't mean to give a spoiler alert. That was like a cringy one. But yeah, go check out You People. And that'll do it for my live. Thanks for listening, good people. So join me this weekend for a full episode of the Narrative Podcast. If you have not done so, please visit the Poetizer bookstore and purchase my book titled The Black Card. And then also, I have my personal poetry blog titled hallziespoetrycorner. My tagline for that is Hallzies Poetry Corner, poetry with a passion, poetry for all occasions. And to patronize that, hit it up at www.mrhallziesblogs.com. And the way you support is share one or all my poems from Hallzies Poetry Corner to all your social media platforms. And then make sure you tune in regularly so you don't miss a live episode of the Narrator Podcast. And how you don't miss a live episode of the Narrator Podcast, you follow me on YouTube or Twitter. It broadcasts directly to my YouTube and Twitter. My YouTube, Halsey Allen, and Twitter, Halsey Allen. So this has been another episode of the Narrative Podcast. Halsey Allen signing off. Wishing everybody love, light, healing energy. Challenge you. I'm changing the narrative one episode at a time, and I'm challenging you to change the narrative one post at a time. Till next time, Halsey Allen and Narrative Podcast signing off, and it's like that.
Listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
I'm gonna set your place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit, put a